Hi, friends. Today I'm going to do a reading on recent events that has happened in our country. And I'm talking about the recent killings of three American citizens in January. And by this point, everybody knows the stories about these three human beings. But I want to ask my questions or will these people's families, will their friends, will they get justice for the killing of their relatives and friends? I'm going to do all three. The first one I'm going to talk about is Keith Porter, 43-year-old African American man in Los Angeles, father of two. Okay, I'm going to read on him first. And a lot of you may not have even known about him because I've noticed that some of the press and some of the news agencies don't even mention his death. But we're going to ask about him. The next one we're going to ask about is Renee Goode, the mother of three in Minnesota, who was gunned down by ICE agents. We all saw the videos, the horrible videos on the news, on YouTube, everywhere. We saw that. And then the last horrible killing was the killing of Alex Pretti. I know I'm probably saying his name wrong, but he was the ICU nurse in Minnesota, and we saw that one on tape also. So let's just go on. We're going to start on with Keith Porter first. Okay, now this was the African American dad who was at a New Year's Eve party, and at 12 o'clock, they start shooting guns. Now, for you people that don't know, okay, just let me educate you for a second. Um, in the Black community, it's been a tradition on New Year's Eve for people to shoot their guns. They usually take them and shoot them up in the air. They've been doing it for years. I am a senior citizen way, way past retirement age. And I want to tell you that they were doing it when I was a child, which was 100 years ago. And they also did it when my mother was a child. So it is a tradition, especially in the South, especially in the Midwest, and for the people, the African Americans that have migrated for themselves to other places. Now, whether it's a safe practice, no, it probably is not, especially now, because see, back when I was a child, people didn't have military grade guns. They just had like maybe a 22 or 32, or your granddad or your dad might have a rifle, that type of thing. We didn't have AR-15s and all that when the tradition was going on. And a lot of times in the family, that's the only time that your dad or your parent could find out if the gun was functional, if it really worked. And it was a form of celebrating, like fireworks. Okay, the problem is that, now the guns are too dangerous. They're military style weapons. Now what comes up must come down, so the bullet goes up, it's coming down. So it is dangerous. And I have noticed that in a lot of the Black communities, they're getting away from it, but it's still a tradition nevertheless. Because I've heard people question, why did he even have a gun? Blah, blah, blah. But that is why, for you folks that don't know. Okay, so let's pull four cards and see. Now, the ICE agent claims that he heard the shooting. So automatically, he wants to go out at 12 o'clock a.m. in the morning, and he's going to investigate. Now, it's dark. Okay, you're a policeman, but you're not invincible. So, but he's going to go out and he's going to, according to him, he's going to investigate to see, oh, where's the gunshots coming from? Why didn't he just call the police? Why did he have to go and try to investigate that on his own? Okay, that's my question. And I'm going to tell you what I think. Now, this is just my opinion. We're going to ask the courts. They lived in an apartment complex. I think Okay, my intuition is saying that this agent had already seen this guy. He knew him. I'm not new, actually, he didn't know him, but I think he had seen him. We've got this white supremacists, a lot of them are ICE agents. And I think he looked at that guy. I've seen pictures of him. And the guy had a beautiful smile. For people that knew him, say he was always happy, always joking, always jovial. And I think he looked at that guy and he didn't like that guy. Okay, and that may come out. We'll see. But I think that's actually what really happened. And he just saw him, he just shot him and killed him on the spot at his family party. So anyway, that's my opinion. Let's see what the court say. Will his friends, will his family receive justice for his death? Okay, let's see. I'm gonna pull four cards for each person. Okay. I'm using a traditional white right-of-way cards this morning. Okay, so the first card I got was the Four of Wands. Here it is, the Four of Wands, but it came out in the reverse position like this. Second card is the Knight of Pentacles, and this card. This is the slow moving knight. Okay, and this came out in the upright position. Okay, the next card is the Seven of Wands. Okay, this is somebody defending themselves. And the last card for this situation is the Two of Pentacles, which is somebody usually juggling money. Okay, so the first card, the Four of Wands. Now, usually this card is indicates a happy family, a prosperous family, one that is celebrating. Okay, now that could mean that was the family celebrating New Year's Eve. Okay, but it came out like this. So it may be trying to tell us they were celebrating happy family, New Year's Eve party, but it ended like this in tragedy. Um, Another thing the court might say is unhappy families, postpone and cancel, leaving home, narrow-mindedness and disapproval. Okay, so that kind of hit to what I said. I think he saw this guy. Maybe he didn't like his car. People hate you for trivial reasons. Maybe he thought his car was too good. Or maybe he didn't like the way he looked like he was always happy. Some people want to see you down and out for whatever reason that's in their heads. But I think, but we are asking, will his family get justice? And according to this card, it says yes. This is a yes card, but it is upside down. And it says unhappy family. So I'm thinking maybe not, or maybe not right away. That's what I'm thinking. It's starting off saying. Okay, now I think I'm kind of right about this because this is the slow moving knight. Now, this is a knight and he's coming in with money. He's got a message about money. Okay, so they can't bring this young man back to his family. They can't bring him back to his kids, but they can get what would you call it, reparations or whatever. But anyway, but the money, his parents are not interested in the money. His kids are not caring about the money. They are caring about their dad being taken away from them. But anyway, so this is a yes score, but I think it's going to take a long time. I think it might take a while. Family's not going to be happy about the case. I think it's going to be slow moving. It may even have to be a case where they have to appeal the decisions. We'll see. But it says patience. The family's going to have patience. They're going to have to persevere. So that kind of goes with maybe they might have to ask for a new trial or appeal the case. Unexpected sources of money or income. So I don't think these people are rich or anything, but maybe some people are going to donate to their cause because you can see that they're starting off as a disadvantaged the family because most of the press don't even talk about him. They talk about the other two young, wonderful people that were killed, but they never mention him. Why is that? Okay. All right. So unexpected sources of money. Time heals all wounds. Reliable, patient, conventional, trustworthy, hardworking people. That's probably what his parents were, just working class people, not folks with a whole lot of money. Someone who perseveres to reach their goal. Okay, so the family's not going to give up on this. I think that's what the courts are saying. They're going to keep pushing until they get some type of justice for the loss of their son, loss of their grandson, these kids' daddies. I don't think they're going to give up. And I don't think they're just going to accept any little offer either. You know, it's an insult. It's kind of insulting that you never hear about him. You don't hear about the very first person that ICE killed on New Year's Eve. Okay, that's an insult in itself. So I think that they're going to keep pushing, keep moving until they get some type of justice. Now, the next court insinuates that they're going to have a fight on their hands. See, they are defending themselves. They're going to have to defend him too. Because I think what they're going to do is try to do a character assassination, just like they did with the Alex Pretti. They came up with him supposedly had gotten into it with ICE a week prior, but we'll talk about that when I get to him. But I think they're going to try to assassinate this young man's character. You know, maybe he had something in his past. They're going to bring that up. They're going to bring up any flaws, if he was late on child support payment or anything that they can find, they're going to bring this up to try to demonize this young man. Um, so I think they're going to have to stand up for their beliefs, the family. They're going to have to stand in their corner and fight in their corner. They're going to be on the defensive, determined, challenging, opposing, stamina, holding their own. They're going to need somebody, a real good lawyers, a real good prosecutor here. Okay. And the family's going to have to get real good lawyers. So I hope people are donating, you know, if they have any type of fund that you can donate to, if you feel led to donate. Because I think, you know, they're working people, they don't have money. I don't think, you know, they're not rich, is what I'm trying to say. Um, but I think it's going to be a challenge for them. Okay, because it's going to be a lot of people trying to oppose him. Because he did have a gun in his hand, but it's New Year's Eve and they're celebrating and they're shooting up in the air. So this is going to be one of the hardest cases, I think, to defend. But they're going to have to hold their own. They're going to have to take the high road. Okay, when they try to put this little young man down, they're going to have to lift his reputation up. Um, it says that they're going to have to be assertive and they're going to have to be territorial too. Okay, so I think they're going to have a problem, but I think, okay, this is a yes chord. This is a yes chord. This is a yes chord, but it's upside down. I think they will get justice, but it's not going to be easy. And then the very last chord is a maybe chord. So out of the four, you have three yes chords and then one maybe. Let's see what the maybe says. This is a person juggling finances. Now, the family, I hope they don't run out of money to the point where they can't uh, get the lawyers that they need. But let's see. Balance, resourcefulness, ups and downs. So the family's going to have ups and downs. Adaptability, flexibility, juggling life, juggling money, transferring money, profit and loss, income and outgoing financial decisions, financial stress and partnerships. So I think it's going to put a financial stress on the family. But I think they're going to have to keep fighting. They're going to have to defend him if they want to get justice for their son, their grandson, the kid's daddy. I think they will get justice, but it's going to be very slow moving. Slow moving. Okay, and right now the family is upside down. So I think yes, but it's not going to be an easy fight for them. They're going to try to assassinate this young man's character as much as possible. Okay, now the next person I'm going to read on is Renee Goode, and we all saw that horrible video of this young mother, and I think the ICE agent shot her 3 times, once in the chest, okay, once in the upper arm, like her shoulder, and then one of the bullets went through her head. So, and we're seeing it in real time. So it's been horrible for the family. I know it's horrible for her kids. It's horrible for us, we the people that have to see that, no regard for the fact that she was unarmed. He claims that she tried to hit him with the car. I don't believe that. Um, because we're seeing the video. She was actually smiling at him. I didn't see her cursing at him. She wasn't blowing a whistle in his ear. They get really mad when you blow a whistle in the ear. Um, she wasn't doing anything about that. She told him, I'm not really mad, at you or whatever. And she was trying to calm the situation down. This man was hostile. This man, in my opinion, was violent because when he shot that woman in her head and shot at her 3 times, killing her instantly, he had the nerve, the audacity, and was to call her a stupid bee after he did that. You know, so he wanted to hurt somebody. That's something he wanted to do. If you start investigating him, you may find out that he had an issue when it came to women, too. If the lawyers really do their job, we might even see that he has some prior incidences with his wife, his girlfriend, or whoever when it comes to women, because he was very, very hostile for no reason. She wasn't even out protesting. She was in a car in her neighborhood, a couple of blocks from her home, had just dropped her kids off. So let's see what's going to happen. Will she get justice? This was horrible. Will she get justice? Will Renee Goode's family get justice for Renee? I'm going to pull 4 cards. Let's see what the cards say. Let's see what Spirit says. Okay, justice for Renee Goode. Okay, let me look at this. Okay. All righty. Now, the first card is a yes card, but it came in a reverse position. And the card is the Page of Wands. And so this is usually the good news card. Somebody with an idea. It's the good news too. It can be that. So that's a yes, but it's in the reverse position. Okay, the next card I got for Justice for Renee is the Moon card. Now, the Moon card is a lot of conspiracy theories. Okay, it's howling at the moon. That's what I call it. Conspiracy theories, lies, um, made up stories, this type of thing. So that's going to come. But this is a no chord. So the first one is a yes. Second one is a no. Third one is the temperance chord. Temperance. That means the patience, but it's in the upside down position also. Um, it says imbalance, self-indulgent, excess, clashing, lack of perspective, discord, antagonism, recklessness, hastiness. Now, I'm just wondering if they're going to hire a good enough lawyer, her family in this case. Well, we'll see. And then the last chord is the Four of Pentacle chord. So this is somebody that feels the need to guard their money. Um, See that if you look at the picture closely, he's putting his feet like he's standing on his money to protect it. He's holding on to his money. He's clenching it. He's got money on his head, so he feels the need. He's almost hoarding it. It's deep-seated past issues. Okay, so we may find out that this um agent, I can't call him law enforcement, this agent has deep-seated past issues. This may come out, just like I said, just like I thought. Um, he may have deep-seated past issues, and it's going to come up in this court case. So let's see. We'll see about that. Okay, and but somebody's going to feel the need to hoard their money, um, stinginess, control, possessiveness, financial stability. But remember, it came like, oh, okay, it came like, did it come upside down? But anyway, financial stability, financial security, saving for big purchases or retirement. Okay, so it may be the agent worried about money. Okay, maybe the agent worried about money. It may be that organization, Homeland Security, because they may be suing them also. Um, I'm wondering, okay, this is what, now I could be wrong, but let me get these cards. I'm going to ask this. I'm wondering, did these agents, did they get the go ahead or the go to or the order to be rougher with these protesters? That's what I'm thinking because it's mighty funny that they felt just in that short of a time. I think it was January the 1st for the first killing. Then Renee Goode was killed 6 days later. Okay. Then the Alex Pretti was killed on I think it was either the 21st or the 23rd. But just what, a couple of weeks later. So I'm wondering if someone in Homeland Security gave them the go-to, or maybe even the order, get rough with them. Get rough with them, hurt them. Maybe trying to start a conflict on purpose, or just maybe just trying to totally disregard because the um, protesters are getting larger and larger. People are not happy about ICE, and they're letting the government know. And that when you are in a democracy, that's what you do. If you don't like something that the government is doing, you let them know because the government is supposed to be working for we the people. Okay, so the protests have been getting bigger and bigger. So I'm just wondering if Homeland Security gave them the orders, go on out there and rough them up. Or maybe if they do something, and you feel threatened, you have our permission to shoot, these people. Now, I'm not saying this is true, but I wouldn't be surprised. Okay, so did they give orders to get more violent in 2026 with the protesters? Yes or no? Okay, it's got a maybe chord, but it's upside down. It says, so traditional institution. So it's not a traditional institution. It is a force, But it's upside down, so it's not traditional. It's not traditional. It's not too many policemen. If that woman was not holding a gun, she's smiling. They tried to say that she tried to hit him with the car. She didn't even look like that. If anything, they were so hostile. You've got police all on the side of her car. If anything, she might have panicked. You know, it's officers are all outside your car with military grade weapons pointing at you. She might have panicked, but people that saw it said she was trying to turn the wheel away from him, like she wanted to move on, and that he tried to step in front of the truck. And then he claims that she was trying to hit him, but they said it was him. But anyway, the court is saying maybe. So I'm thinking they might have actually told these officers to get rougher with the protests, and it's going to come out. Um, the traditional values of policemen, they don't go by that. It's not too many policemen. It's going to shoot a young woman in the face like that, unless they really felt threatened. If she had a gun, that's different, but they're not going to do that. Um, Conventional, conformity, marriage, commitment, religion, beliefs, knowledge, sharing, social groups, education. Okay, so none of this that police usually get, traditional law enforcement, they're not going by that. They've Most of them have probably not even gotten the right training. And I'm not trying to talk about anybody physically, because your physical body is not really that important. But you've seen them. They look out of shape. They don't look like anybody's police officer. They don't look like they could run from here to my front door. Okay, actually. Um, it's just a mess. Okay, so they are okay, the other message on this card says challenging tradition rather, challenging tradition, unconventional um, lifestyles, unconventional relationships, reverse roles, nonconformity. Okay. So it may have been somebody, they said that you know, she had a wife. So maybe it was somebody that hated her lifestyle. Could have been that. Or he might have just not even liked women. I don't know. We'll see. Okay, but the last person, let me get these scores. I'm going to put all of them back. And the last person I'm going to read on is Alex Pretti. Now, this is the ICU nurse who worked for the veterans office. Okay. So, what they're trying to say about him is that he had a gun. Well, we are a right to carry um, nation in most states, so he can carry a gun. Did he have it out of the holster? No. When they shot him, according to what I was looking at on that video, he had one hand in front of him like this. The other hand was in the back of him like this. He had his phone in this hand. He had this hand was in the back of him. They had already taken the gun. One of them had snatched the gun out of his holster and pocket. So they had the gun. So he's like this. Now, what can he do? What can he do to them? It's three officers. They have him down on the ground. They've got him, his back, his whole body, his face is on the ground. And they shot him. To me, it looked, just intentional. It looked cold blood. It didn't look like they were afraid of anything. Okay, not to me. But anyway, and then they came out later with some type of video that said that he had gotten into a skirmish with the ICE agents a week prior. But you know what? And I'm not a conspiracy theory person, but I really do believe that was somebody that made that up, with this AI. I do believe that because here's my point. You all saw his mannerisms. When the police took that woman and in anger ran into her like a ram, ran into her, just running, and just shoved her. He didn't just push her, he shoved her as hard as she could. He didn't look like he even addressed the agent. He didn't curse him out. He didn't uh, go toward him. He went to help the woman off of the ground. Okay, so that didn't look like a person that violent to me. He's standing there taking pictures. He wasn't cursing. He wasn't doing anything. He wasn't name calling. He wasn't blowing a whistle or anything that looked like he was even trying to address anything but taking pictures of what was actually happening. And I think with him being a nurse, especially an ICU nurse, if you've ever been in the hospital for any serious illness and had to be in ICU, they are some of the most patient, kindest nurses that you ever want to run across. Because I've had serious surgery where I was in the ICU. I've had nurses on each shift come in and hold my hand while I was in ICU, so I know what I'm talking about. It's a different type of human being that usually works in that situation. You know, they just got a different personality, and it's kind and it's loving. So I don't believe what they were saying about him. I don't. But anyway, that's my opinion. But let's see what the courts say. Four courts. Will his family get justice? Alex's family. Everybody that knew him said he was a wonderful person. I haven't heard one bad thing about him except for um, them saying that he had attacked ICE agents the prior. And then here's why I really don't believe him. They said that he tried to kick the rear light, that he kicked the rear light out. You know good and well, if he kicked the light out of their truck, they would have arrested him on the spot. They are arresting people for blowing a whistle at them, or name calling, or not walking fast enough, or holding the sign. So if he actually did something physical to one of their vehicles, that's property damage. That's a threat in itself. They would have hauled him off to jail. And another reason why I don't believe it, he is a licensed registered. He was a licensed registered nurse. When you have licenses like that, if you get into any type of trouble, especially a violent act that you have done, they will pull your license. And I just don't believe it. I don't believe that he kicked the headlight out and they didn't take him to jail. And I don't believe he would risk his license doing that. Mm-mm. People are not going to do that. That's like a medical person, a doctor. They're going to try their best not to get into any violent situations. Anybody that holds a license is not going to want to get arrested and have their license pulled. They're not. Okay, but anyway, let me stop talking. Let's pull four cards for Alex. Okay, pull this down. Okay, and let's see what I got. Okay, so here's the four cards for Alex. So the first card is a yes card. And this card usually indicates that it's going to be a group of people working together to get the job done. So I think he's going to have an excellent team of lawyers. I think his parents, his relatives, his friends, his co-workers are going to see to that he gets excellent representation. Um, because here they are working together. And it's a strong yes card. Okay, it says apprenticeship, learning, studying, growing, hard work. Commitment. I think they're committed to clearing their son's name. I think his parents are. They're building on success. It says a collaboration, so it's going to be a team of lawyers, a team, his family, his friends working together. They're determined. It says determination, dedication, attention to detail, um, achievements, a tradesperson, recognition and reward. So I think out of all three of these people killed, I think he's going to have the best lawyers. He's going to have the best uh, legal team, I think, here. Okay, this is another strong yes, upright. Okay, now this is a person, and usually it indicates travel or moving abroad. But it can also move forward planning. It can mean forward planning. You're looking forward and you're planning in detail. And you're gonna lay your case out perfectly and just wait on the results. That's what it's kind of saying, especially if you're talking about law. See, he's this is a person that's already done the work. See, they've done the work already, and they're just waiting on the results. So I think that's his legal team. They're going to be excellent, his legal team. Um, it says self-belief, freedom, success, happy with choices and outcomes, hard work paying off. Okay, so that's what this card indicates too. This person has done the work and now they're just waiting for the ship to come in. That's what this card says. So I think of all about all three, he's going to have the best legal team. Okay, here's a yes card too, but it's in the upside down position. It's the Emperor card, see, but it came out like this. So the Emperor card says stability, structure, protection, authority. Okay, so we're talking about um, the officers, their department, or we could be talking about Homeland Security, the Justice Department, but it comes out in the reverse position. And guess what the first few words says? Abuse of power. So I think during his case, they're going to have an investigative team, I do believe, and they're going to some type of way they're going to approve that it was abuse of power. They may even get information about them telling these agents to get tough on these people, to hurt them, maybe even to shoot them. We'll see. Um, it says abuse of power, rigid stubbornness, lack of discipline. Now we've seen that. A lack of discipline, lack of control. Okay. Absentee father, paternity issues. So I don't know if that's talking about some of the agents' personal lives. I don't know. But anyway, it talks about abuse of power here and lack of discipline and control. So that's a great description of what we're seeing. Nobody just goes and shoots an unarmed woman in the face like that if they have any type of self-control. Okay, here, the last card. Oh, so that was a yes card too. So far we got one, two, three, and guess what? The last card is a big yes. A big yes, full of pentacles. It's the Ten of Pentacles. That's the wealth card, the abundance card. Okay, you see all the pentacles surrounding this person? Um, it's got a man and a woman. They're surrounded with property, surrounded with riches. It says unexpected financial windfall. I think he's going to get the most out of it. The family, his friends. Windfall, lump sum, will. Okay, look at that. Deeds, trust funds, inheritances, solid foundation, privilege, inherited issues, ancestry, businesses, um, support issues, affluence. So I'd say out of the three people, I think Alex Pretti is going to have the best defense team. I think they all will get justice in varying various, with various degrees. It's not going to bring them back, but maybe it's going to bring out some type of abuse of power from this organization. Okay. So that's what I got, people. Love and light to all. Blessings. Bye.